Hello, I'm Carol Marie, and I'm with my mom, Lillian Hart. And we're walking you through the 10 steps of moving out of the fog into the favor of God.
Yes.
And so we're giving you some ideas of how to have a new normal, because it isn't normal. After you've had a loss or you've gone through trauma, you're having to find a new place.
Yes.
And today's lesson is on making new memories.
Yes.
And you have to kind of decide, especially when it comes to holidays, what traditions you want to continue and what you're ready for. I know this one widow that is a part of our group in Tennessee. It wasn't very much before Thanksgiving and Christmas that her husband passed away. And I said, honey, if you're not ready to do a tree and the whole thing, you can decide to do something different. What are you emotionally ready for? And I suggested to her, I said, some people even go on a cruise, or they go on a trip, or maybe get a cabin in the mountains or whatever. Do what you are able to do. And she said that they decided, her and her kids, they went out to dinner and then they went to a movie on Christmas. And she said we just had to do something totally different so that it wasn't such a heartache. Now, Sonny's birthday was the 4th of July. We were married on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
He went to the hospital Thanksgiving, and he moved to heaven between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have many holidays left that he wasn't a part of,
Yeah.
Father's Day, maybe Mother's Day was the only one I had left, or my birthday. And so I had to just make new memories. And then I had moved to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so here I am, my very first Christmas there. And my children had things going on in their lives. And you and Shirley were here in California, my brother in Missouri. I remember feeling so alone and wondering, what shall I do to make a new memory? And so I looked for all the singles in my church that didn't have family.
Oh.
And I put on a dinner, and we did a coded menu. So they didn't know what they were ordering. And we just had a fun time. And I made a new memory, and I helped others work through their loneliness as well. So you have to kind of pace yourself too. If you do it too soon, I think you went on a cruise too soon, and it was just too hard on you.
Yes. It wasn't any fun. I had so looked forward to going on a cruise after seeing the Love Boat series on TV. And my husband wasn't interested in a cruise. So we traveled the United States, 41 of the lower 48. But after he went to heaven, then I went on a cruise, but it wasn't any fun without him.
So you have to pace it. Later on, you went on a family reunion cruise, and we had a good time.
Yes,
so you've got to see, what are you ready for, and don't do it too soon.
Yes. And speaking of holidays, the Grief Share has a program that's surviving the holidays, and I usually hold that class the week before Thanksgiving. And it's just a one-day session, and the booklet is a guide of what to do, and it gives you permission not to send Christmas cards if you don't feel up to it. Don't decorate the tree if you're not up to it, if you just don't feel like it. It gives you permission not to do those things. And like idea of the family just going to a movie. Some said, I just like to go to sleep the day before Thanksgiving and wake up the day after New Year's. I just can't face the holidays. But after taking this session on surviving the holidays, they felt the freedom to say no.
Yeah. And sometimes people are wanting, well, come over to our house, and here's all the family together, or it's a couple, and sometimes that's just too hard. Other times, that's exactly what the person needs. They've been brought into a family. So it's a personal thing. You have to decide, what it is it that you're ready for.
Yes.
And I know sometimes they'll choose maybe a tree ornament that is the special one that Dad had. And so then they keep that on the tree. But then they maybe do something different with the tree. You know, so now I just, I find, okay, let's do something new. And don't set myself up to be depressed. And so because our wedding anniversary was on Labor Day weekend, it seemed like even if I didn't realize it was Labor Day weekend, I would start feeling a heaviness. It's kind of like subconsciously, you know what's coming up. And I remember I had spoken at a widows conference, and it was Labor Day weekend, and I was headed home, and I felt heavy, and I thought, what is this? And all of a sudden it dawned on me that it was my wedding anniversary. And so I called up my son, and I said, what are you doing? And they had just moved into a house, and they didn't even have furniture in there yet, but they had sleeping bags everywhere. And his wife, Stephanie, my daughter-in-law, she was at a ladies' retreat. And he said, well, Mom, come on down if you don't mind sleeping in a sleeping bag. So we camped inside the house, and we just kind of made a new memory. So I encourage you, make new memories, find out what you're ready for, what can you handle, and then move through it at the pace that you're able to move through.
Yes.
And you'll move out of the fog into the favor of God.
Yes.